Have you ever stood in the dairy aisle, staring at the endless options of butter, margarine, and spreads, and just felt completely confused? One day you hear butter is bad for you, the next it's a superfood. What's the real story? Well, let's take a journey through time and science to churn up the truth about butter. For centuries, butter was a kitchen staple, a golden treasure prized for its rich flavor and versatility. Think about it. From ancient civilizations to our great-grandmother's kitchens, butter was the go-to fat. It was used for cooking, baking, or simply spreading on a warm piece of bread. It was natural, simple, and wholesome. People didn't really question it. It was just a part of daily life, a symbol of hearty, traditional food. Then, sometime in the mid-20th century, the narrative completely flipped. Suddenly, butter became public enemy number one. The culprit? Saturated fat. A wave of nutritional science emerged linking saturated fats to high cholesterol and an increased risk of heart disease. The message was loud and clear. Ditch the butter, save your heart. In response to this health scare, the food industry presented us with what seemed like a miracle solution. Margarine. It was made from vegetable oils, was lower in saturated fat, and was heavily marketed as the heart-healthy alternative. Kitchens across the country swapped their butter dishes for tubs of margarine. It seemed like a sensible, science-backed choice. We were told we were making a smarter decision for our family's health, and for a long time, most of us believed it. But here's where the story gets interesting. As the decades went on, more research came to light, and scientists began to look closer at what was actually in that tub of margarine. It turned out that the process used to make vegetable oil solid at room temperature, called hydrogenation, created something called trans fats, and you've probably heard of those. Study after study began to show that artificial trans fats were far worse for our health than the natural saturated fats found in butter. They were found to raise bad LDL cholesterol, lower good HDL cholesterol, and significantly increase the risk of heart disease, inflammation, and other serious health problems. Suddenly, the healthy alternative didn't look so healthy anymore. The villain we thought we had vanquished was actually a Trojan horse. This realization led many scientists and nutritionists to re-examine butter. Was it really the bad guy we had made it out to be? Let's break down what's actually in natural butter. First, it's a great source of fat-soluble vitamins. These are vitamins A, D, E, and K2. These aren't just letters in the alphabet, they play crucial roles in our bodies. Vitamin A is vital for vision, immune function, and skin health. Vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin, is essential for bone health and immune support. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant that protects our cells from damage. And vitamin K2 is a real hero that often gets overlooked. It works alongside vitamin D to help get calcium into our bones and teeth and keep it out of our arteries, which is incredibly important for cardiovascular health. Many of us don't get enough of these nutrients, and butter from grass-fed cows is a particularly rich source. Beyond the vitamins, let's talk about the fatty acids in butter. Yes, it contains saturated fat, but our understanding of saturated fat is becoming more nuanced. Not all saturated fats are created equal, and our bodies actually need some of them to function properly. For example, our cell membranes are partially made of saturated fats, but butter also contains other beneficial fatty acids. One of them is called butyrate, or butyric acid. This is a short-chain fatty acid that is fantastic for your gut health. The cells in your colon use butyrate as their primary energy source. It helps maintain the integrity of your gut lining, reduces inflammation, and may even help protect against digestive diseases. It's literally food for your healthy gut bacteria. Another important fatty acid in butter, especially grass-fed butter, is conjugated linoleic acid, or CLA. Research on CLA is really exciting. Studies suggest it has anti-cancer properties, can help reduce body fat, and may lower the risk of type 2 diabetes. While you'd need to eat a lot of butter to get a therapeutic dose, it's still a valuable bonus you won't find in most highly processed spreads. So, where does this leave us in the butter versus margarine debate? Most modern margarines have been reformulated to remove artificial trans fats, which is a good thing. However, many are still made from highly processed industrial seed oils, like soybean, corn, or canola oil. These oils are often high in omega-6 fatty acids. While we need some omega-6, our modern diets tend to have way too much of it compared to omega-3 fatty acids. This imbalance can promote chronic inflammation in the body, which is a root cause of many modern diseases. In contrast, butter, especially from grass-fed cows, has a better balance of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids. It's a more natural, less processed product. Think about how it's made. You churn cream until the fat separates from the liquid. That's it. Compare that to the multi-step, high-heat, chemical-laden process required to turn liquid vegetable oil into a solid spread. When you look at it that way, the choice becomes a lot clearer. Now, does this mean you should start eating sticks of butter for breakfast? Of course not. Moderation is absolutely key. Butter is a calorie-dense food. A little bit goes a long way in adding incredible flavor and those beneficial nutrients to your meals. Using a pat of butter to cook your eggs, spreading a thin layer on your whole grain toast, or melting some over-steamed vegetables is a perfectly healthy and delicious way to incorporate it into your diet. The problem in the past wasn't necessarily the butter itself, but the company it kept. A diet high in processed foods, sugar, and refined carbohydrates, topped with a lot of butter, is not a recipe for good health. But when you add a moderate amount of natural, high-quality butter to a diet rich in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, it can absolutely be part of a healthy lifestyle. So, the next time you're in that dairy aisle, you can feel more confident. The story of butter is a perfect example of how nutritional science evolves. What we once demonized, we now understand, has a place on our plates. Choosing real, minimally processed butter over a tub of highly engineered spreads is often the healthier choice. It's a return to traditional, whole foods, and a reminder that nature often knows best. Look for butter from grass-fed cows if you can find it, to get that extra boost of nutrients. Thank you so much for watching and exploring the creamy, complicated history of butter with me. If you found this video helpful and want to debunk more food myths, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. See you in the next video.